Yo, what's up guys? Heroes Only, and I'm back with a new deck profile after the new ban list, and also just trying out something that I haven't seen tried since the new Evil Hero support drop. So yes, this is a post-ban list, hero list, as well as something new that I really want to give a try to. Sorry that I haven't been going to locals as much. I went to locals twice. I was playing a Chimera deck that I wanted to really test out because I like Chimera as well. That didn't really work out for me that good. And then a few Saturdays ago, I went to get some cards and I was just like, man, you know what? Let me test out this 48 card hero deck. And then like my first game, I walked into a freaking blindside draw, so I didn't do well that night either. But I just haven't been going this much. I really want to get some more cards and things like that. And my locals is going to be getting rarity 4 at the end of this week, so maybe like Friday, Thursday. So I'm gonna try to make it to locals at least once this week to actually test this build. But without further ado, we're gonna jump into this deck profile. All right, so let's talk about the main deck. So, got 1 Neos, 2 Stratos, 1 Shadow Mist, 1 Ferris, 2 Vion, 1 Increase, of course, Destiny Heroes, 3 Militias, and 1 Denier. I guess I'll lay out the cards first and then I'll go into the explanation behind this build and what I'm hoping it can do. So that's it for Destiny Heroes. Then you got your Evil Heroes. You got 1 Dead End Prison, 1 Adusted Gold, and that's it for Evil Heroes. And then I'm gonna play 3 Hero Lives, 3 Fusion Destiny, and 1 Evil Assault. And then we're gonna finish out the engine with 1 Mass Change, 1 Dark Fusion, 1 Poly, and 1 Miracle Fusion. So here's the thing. I've been wanting to try to make Hero 40 cards even with the new Evil Hero support. A lot of hero players feel that it's not possible to be able to make this into a 40 card deck and actually have it be successful. And I'm willing to take that risk. I've played this deck at 48, I played it at 46, I played it at 56, I played it at 52, and I'm always just at the drawing board experimenting. And last time I was breaking down the deck and just trying to see the layout of the deck, I said, you know what? I'm going to give 40 cards a try. Now, obviously, you don't have as many starters. There's a high chance that you might brick. But you know, even playing higher card counts, you can still end up bricking. So why not try to play something close to 40 as possible and make it a bit more easy to see the cards that you want to see because you're playing the less card count. So that's the theory behind this. And when you see the rest of the cards in the main deck, you're going to understand what I mean as I continue to go through the deck profile. But that is it for all the engine stuff. And then I'm going to go into the non-engine. Okay, non-engine. I finally got my hands on some Perulia. I haven't had access to this card since it's been released. And you heard me say earlier, one of the times I played at locals, I was actually there just to pick up some cards, but I ended up just playing anyway and didn't do so well. I was picking up some Perulia. And I'm so happy to finally have access for this card because the prices have gone down because of the ultra rare that came out in Maze of Master. I actually picked up one from the shop and I picked up another from my cousin. He had one, so now I have a play set. And also, I'm looking forward to getting my hands on Fuwalos later this week. So some things might change with this. 3 of these non-engine cars are probably going to come out and be replaced with Fuwalos. So just keep that in mind. Okay, so 3 Perulia. I'm very excited to have that card in my repertoire now. And you know, to be honest with you, it's a really powerful card. Unfortunately, it was locked behind a $100 wall, an $80 wall per copy, and it kind of sucks, but that's just the way it is. If you want the really excellent cards, you're just gonna have to pay top dollar or wait for reprints. And I'm cool because even without cards like this, I've had my times where I went to locals and had success even without cards like this, which are really impactful in today's game. So I'm excited to finally have it in my collection and looking forward to adding Fuwalos as well. So, you know, to say I've been having some success, obviously every time I go to locals, I don't do well, but you know, I've done well pretty decently, you know, in the past 2 months, you know, I've done decently, but like I said, I'm happy to have this card in my repertoire. But I continue. 3 Droll and Lockbird in the main deck. I'm definitely feeling that. And I'm making this call right now. I haven't tested it yet. Obviously, the ban list just dropped a couple days ago, but I'm making this call right now. 3 Lancia in the main deck. Now you might say to yourself, why 3 Lancia in the main deck? Lancia is the only card that can stop the what's it called? Deep Sea Minstrel. It's the only card that can stop that card from looking into your hand and banishing one face up to the end of the turn. Lancia is the only card that can stop that card. And Mermail, I'm telling you now, Mermail's going to be a problem going forward. You know, after Mermail won that Team YCS maybe several weeks ago or however long ago it was, I immediately had, there was immediately 3 Mermail players the next week at my locals. And yeah, Mermail's going to be a problem. And I don't want them looking in my hand and trying to rip cards from it before I even get a chance to start. Bad enough, they have the other card that if it's special summon, it rips randomly 2 more. So 3 Lancia in the main deck. That's my theory behind that. And then finally, I'm going to have 3 Forbidden Droplet. It's just a really excellent card. If you watch YCS Houston this past weekend, Droplet was kind of going crazy for the guy who ended up winning it with his Memento deck. So crazy. And then finally, 3 Infinite Impermanence to finish out the deck. And it is a perfect 40 card. So I don't know which of these 3 is going to be subbed out for Fuwalos. I'm not sure yet. Maybe I might just add 3. I'm not sure. But the point of this build is to go second. You might be wondering, where's Favorite Contact? Where's Super Poly? Where's all the traps and, stuff like that? I'm actually building this deck to go second. So if I lose the dice roll, I have a deck with 15 going second cards in it. You know what I mean? And it's only 40 cards. So I have a high chance of seeing these going second cards. So yes, that's the point. I'm going to be going second. Whether I win or lose the dice roll out the gate, the deck is built to go second. All right, let's jump into the extra deck. For the most part, it's pretty standard, but you're going to see some changes here and there. So 1 Shining Needles Wingman, 1 Wake Up Your Elemental Hero, 1 Sunrise, 1 Flame Wingman Infernal Rage, 1 Brave Neos. I still really like this tech, and not having to give up your Shining Needles Wingman for Super Poly and being able to give this up in turn instead. Then we got 1 DPE. Really wish I could play that too, but you know, with heroes, the extra deck is always tight. So 1 DPE. And then 1 Dark Law. 1 Mask Hero Blast. Yes, I did bring back Blast. And then you have your evil heroes. So you got 1 Neos Lord, 1 Malicious Bane, and Infernal Wing, Infernal Backlash. So I did end up cutting Darkest Night. I like Darkest Night, but once again, the extra deck is so tight. So, and then finally the links: 1 Wonder Driver, 1 Infernal Devicer, and 2 Cross Crusader. And I also have some more hero cards coming in the mail for another deck that I'm going to be building in the future. And last I checked, I might be the first one to try to do what I'm going to be doing with these hero cards that I have coming in the mail. But anyway, we'll get to that at a later date. But yes, this is the extra deck right here. Last but not least, the side deck. Now here's all my cards: 1 Plasma, 1 Necron, 1 Infernal Rider, double Ash Blossom. And it pains me to say this so much: 1 Crossout Designator. They got my boy. They got my boy on this ban list. They limited him to 1. One of my favorite cards in the game. I guess I'm happy they didn't outright ban it, so at least you can still play it at 1. But I think it's crazy that the top decks always control the way ban lists go, because this card goes absolutely crazy in the S tier decks. The card has to suffer because the deck is so powerful. Those decks are so powerful. Ryzel, Malice, those decks are so powerful that cards like this have to suffer. So the people who play rogue decks, mid-range decks, who this card really helps out, well, because the power is so top heavy, like the decks that's always at the top can make this card go even crazier. Now the mid-range and rogue players have to suffer. But you know, it sucks, but that's okay. So 1 Crossout Designator, there's my little piece on that. 1 Call by the Grave, and then the replacement for the 2 Crossout Designators I would have been running: 2 Salesman. I think Salesman is just as solid. And I also have Prohibition in my collection as well, but I'd rather Salesman at this point in time. Then we got 2 Mass Change. So notice I got 1 in the main deck already. I'm playing 3 Mass Change in this build. When I side in for when I know I'm going first, I'm playing 3 Mass Change. There's a lot of targeting effects in the game right now, and I would like the opportunity to turn off Droll and Effect Veiler and cards like that, given the opportunity, if I hard draw one, you know. And I'm playing perfect 40 cards, and you know, I have 3 of them in the main deck. So when I side in for going first, that is. And then finally we got Super Poly, Dark Supremacy, Favorite Contact, and I had 1 extra spot and I gave it to Destiny Hero Dystopia. I'm using it as a time card, even though Dystopia is good. It's strictly a time card. So the way I built the deck, I side out a perfect 14 for going first. Every time is a perfect 14, not including this card for time purposes. But these 14 cards all have a replacement in the build that's naturally built for going second. So the deck is built to go second out the gate, And then I have a perfect siding pattern of 14 cards for 14 cards for when I know I'm going first. So that'll do it for the deck profile. But yes, I'm really looking forward to test this out. And you see my little going first protection cards, Ash to respect my charmies, and all the searchable spells and traps that we play when we play going first. And just lately I felt like so many hand traps in the game. Like, you might go first, but you might not get to play the game if you can't protect your turn. They open 3 or 4 hand traps and you can't play through. You might never see these cards. You might not be able to resolve any of your effects. That's why I'm playing Mass Change at 3. That's why I'm Sales Band at 2. 1 call by, 1 cross out. Just giving ourselves a chance to play the game. And then Dark Law just being able to turn off cards that specifically have to send themselves to the graveyard is a great addition. So I'm thinking Dark Law is going to be key if we want to win any games in this up and coming format. So once again, thanks for watching. That'll do it for the deck profile. Hope y'all have a good day, and peace.